Should I stay or should I go now? That is the million-dollar question for 5 different Seattle Seahawks players that we'll be talking about here on today's show. We're talking cut candidates. Who could Seattle potentially move on from to save some Benjamins for this upcoming year? I got a list we'll go over in just a matter of moments. Before we do that, though, the Seahawks need all the good vibes they can get. With all the changes going on and looking forward to this offseason when tough decisions are going to have to be made when it comes to trades, free agency, the draft, and everything in between, we need all the vibes to be going our direction. Like the video for a great offseason. Don't jinx it. Don't make me come find you because you didn't like the video. Let's just set the right tone right away. Like the video and we'll get started with today's show. Let's begin with the numbers. Let's start with the cap situation. The Seahawks right now are $4.6 million over the cap entering the 2024 campaign. That ain't going to fly with Goodell and company, so they are going to have to make some changes with that. And to give you a little perspective of what you're about to hear on today's show, if the Seahawks were to move on from every single player we talk about today, they could save upwards of $57 million. Okay? That's a lot of cash. And you're going to have to clear up some money anyway just to sign your rookies coming in. Besides free agents or anything like that, there are some hard decisions that are going to have to be made one way or another. But with that said, let's get started. The first player on our list should be a shocker to no one, and that is Jamal Adams, the safety for the Seattle Seahawks. We have been saying for a long time that the Seahawks probably ought to just cut their losses and move on from Jamal Adams. Yes, it will be painful for the amount of money that he's cost you and what you gave up to make this trade happen. But the truth of the matter is that when you look at Jamal Adams on a football field right now, he is a liability. He holds this team back. They are better without him. If they were to cut Jamal Adams post-June 1, and remember, you can designate somebody as a post-June 1 cut, but move on from them prior to that, they could save $16.5 million on that contract that he's got 2 years remaining and about $27 million cap hit next year. He's 29 years old. He's not getting any younger. My verdict, we're cutting Jamal Adams. If it's up to me, my call, it's an easy decision. I think you move on from Jamal Adams. You count your losses. You say, look, Jamal, we appreciate you. It's been great to have you in this organization. But the better days are behind us. This isn't simply working anymore. You got to move on from Jamal Adams. To me, that's the easy decision here, that you cut him and say enough is enough for Jamal Adams and go on from there. 4 more players to get to here in just a moment, but first, let's ask you guys, should the Seahawks cut Jamal Adams? Y for yes, N for no. Weigh in, tell me what you think. Should Seattle move on from Jamal Adams or not? Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time, the best place to go for last-minute tickets for the lowest prices guaranteed, whether you want to go to a sporting event, concert, theater, production, comedy show, or more. Maybe you want to go to the big game in Vegas. I know the Seahawks aren't going to be there, but you still got an opportunity to go and save some money. We are giving $100 off to anyone that wants to go to the big game in Vegas when you use the promo code Vegas100. And that doesn't just apply for first-time users either, okay? Everybody can save $100 on tickets to the big game when they use the promo code Vegas100. So if you're planning to make the trip, here's your chance to save some money on that ticket to the big game. Promo code Vegas100. You can also still get tickets to your favorite local events like the Seattle Kraken and more. Choose the seat you want to sit in. Then you get the view. If you like the seat or not, you're checking out within a matter of moments. And it's very simple to use with Apple Pay, Google Pay, and more. And for first-time users, you can save $20 off with the promo code Seahawks Chat. And if you decide that you want to go to the big game and you're a first-time user, you can use the promo code Seahawks Chat and the promo code Vegas100 and save $120 on tickets to the big game. Link is in the comments and description of today's video. Game Time, proud partner of Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Terms and conditions to apply. Sign up for Game Time today. Next on this list, this is going to ruffle some feathers, but it's a discussion we had to have. Tyler Lockett, Seahawks wide receiver. Tyler Lockett has been awesome for this team over the years. He'll one day have his name in the Ring of Honor and everything like that. Tyler Lockett has been nothing but great for Seattle. But he's coming off the worst season he's had in a while. He's 32 years old. He's already talked about early retirement. And you look at his money situation. You can't sit here and honestly say that Tyler Lockett is worth paying $27 million over a 2-year stretch. If you were to move on from him post-June 1, you could save $17 million. Now, my verdict on Tyler Lockett, I don't think you should move on from him, though. What you need to do is you need to say to Tyler Lockett, look, Tyler, we want you to stay in Seattle. We want you to retire as a member of the Seahawks and keep this offense going with one of the best receiving corps in football. But we can't afford to pay you that amount of money. And realistically, no one else can afford to pay him that amount of money either. Restructure, have Tyler Lockett take a pay cut, and keep him around. I think that is the best solution for all parties involved. Keep Tyler Lockett, but force him to restructure. And make your money work for you, as Dave Ramsey would say. That's the best case for Seattle and Tyler Lockett here. Next on our list is Quandre Diggs. Quandre Diggs coming off a disappointing season in 2023. And he'd been playing some very good football prior to that. But this was his worst year statistically ever. His PFF numbers were abysmal in about every category this year. 31 years old, got 1 year remaining, and it ain't cheap. His cap hit is around $21.2 million this upcoming year. And the savings, if he's released or traded, $11 million. A lot of money to be saved. My verdict, I'm shopping Quandre Diggs. I'm trying to see if I can get anything for Quandre Diggs. If I can get a draft pick, something, whatever I can do to get somebody to take Quandre Diggs off my payroll, to me, that would be a big blessing of sorts if you're the Seattle Seahawks. Kind of like what we talked about with Tyler Lockett. It's not personal. It's business. We like Quandre. Quandre's had a good run in Seattle. He's been arguably the face of this defense the last couple of years, especially after Bobby departed, and then obviously he came back. But Quandre means a lot, but you can't pay that money for the product that you're getting on the football field of what you saw this year. If you had to pick one to keep, are you going with Tyler Lockett or are you going with Quandre Diggs? Which guy would you rather hang on to? Type T for Tyler Lockett, type Q for Quandre Diggs. Let me know which guy you rather have. Folks, we are on track to get to 49,000 subscribers here on Seahawks Today. But we need your help to get there. Less than 400 away from reaching that next milestone. We're talking about your team each and every day with the latest news and rumors. We're talking trades, draft, free agency, and more. Lock us in. Subscribe now. Any moves happen, any changes, you know we're going to go live. We're going to bring you content as quick as we can on the channel. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did here on Seahawks Today. Next on our list is Will Disley at the tight end position. Now, it is worth noting that Will Disley and Noah Fant and Colby Parkinson all have been underutilized in this Seahawks offense. And that goes back to Pete Carroll. That goes back to Shane Waldron of not using tight ends appropriately. Will Disley's numbers weren't great last year, but I think that he's better than what they indicated because he was being held back by the system. With that said, though, Will Disley enters 2024 at 28 years old with 1 year remaining on his contract, a cap hit of around $10.1 million, and you can save $7 million if you were to move on from Will Disley. Honestly, I don't think that Will Disley is worth keeping for that amount of money. I think you can find his production for a lot cheaper cost elsewhere, whether it's a rookie or even another veteran. I'm cutting. I'm saving the money. Just by cutting Will Disley, we get this team back under the salary cap where we need to be. I like Will. I think people like Will Disley for the most part. but this is a cost-saving measure that, to me, might be the easiest call of all these here on today's show. Who's the player the Seahawks should cut? Weigh in the comments section. Give me a name that comes to mind. We've talked about a few already. What do you guys think? Weigh in. Tell me what you think. Last on our list is Bryan Mone. And if you're not familiar with Bryan Mone, it's okay. He missed all of this past season with a torn ACL that he injured the year prior. 29 entering this year and has 1 year remaining on his contract with a cap hit around $6 million. The savings, if he's released or traded, around the same amount, $5.9 million. It already feels like the Seahawks have moved on from Bryan Mone as is. When you look at the structure with Leonard Williams and Draymond Jones and these pieces on the defensive line, Jaron Reed and all that, they have operated without Bryan Mone, without even giving him a thought. If you forgot that Bryan Mone played for the Seattle Seahawks, you would not be the only one. To me, I think you cut him. If he can't be on the football field, then what's the point? So, sorry, Brian, this one's an easy call. We're cutting you. If you enjoyed today's show, want to give some good luck to your Seahawks this offseason, like the video. We certainly would appreciate it, and we'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today.